Once back outside, run across, avoiding the Phanto, and enter the door on the far right for a battle against a green Birdo. The green Birdo is the exact same as the gray Birdo we saw earlier, so you can only use items to take him out because he won't spit any eggs, he only spits fireballs. Level 6-2 is a very interesting level. Once we're outside, you're going to see an Albatos coming from the left side. Jump on top of it, and you're going to have to ride this throughout the entire level. While riding it, be sure to dodge through the other Albatosses, and try to do your best to jump over the Panzer Flames. When you get here, you're going to have to do a super jump in order to get up to the platform, and then jump on the Albatos on the other side. Jump on the platforms and get up here to this door and enter it for a battle against another green Birdo. Grab the item up top and drop it down on him, and use that in order to take him out. Level 6-3 can actually be beaten very quickly if you go over to the left side there with the quicksand and go underneath the wall and then keep mashing the jump button. Once you go underneath, it takes you to another door where you'll instantly be near the end of the stage. However, I'm going to show off the full level in this run. Get up here and use the bombs like we have been using in order to blow up the wall. Watch out for the enemies as they move back and forth there. Once up here, jump on the vines and be careful to avoid most of the hoop stars as they work their way up the vine as well. Once we finally climb up the last vine of this area, go into the pyramid to enter a boss battle against a red Birdo. There is an item to help you out if you want to use it at the bottom. If you pick up an item right as a projectile from a Birdo is about to hit you, it will go right through you and you won't take any damage, so you can definitely use that to your advantage here. Enter the door, and now it's time for another battle against Triclide. This one's a little bit tougher as he's a little bit closer to you, as well as he's going to fire out more projectiles, it seems. It still only takes 3 shots to take him out, though. With that second Triclide taken care of, it's now time for the final world of the game, World 7. World 7 actually only has 2 levels to it, as we start in 7-1. I selected Toad, get up here, and then duck down on this column in order to jump up to the Albatos so that you can avoid going through a little bit of the level. Ride the Albatos carefully over to the left, and then make it over to this area where you can drop down in order to get another rocket ship like we saw in World 4. Once up here, watch out for the snippets firing bullets at you and then go through the little short path. Once up here, watch out for the sparks and get your way up to the next ladder. You're then going to have to lift up the items so that you can stack them like usual in order to get to the ladders above. Once up the ladder, there's only a couple of hoopsters to watch out for, and one more sniffit before we get to the door at the top. Inside here, it's time for another battle against a Grey Birdo. Pick up the item and use it as your projectile to hit the Birdo many times. Just try to do your best to avoid the flame the best that you can, grab the crystal, and move on to the last level of the game. As the level begins, watch out for the sniffits. There's going to be 3 of them firing a lot of bullets at you. Enter the castle on the right, and then ride the conveyor belt getting over the Shy Guys as they spawn from the pot. Float over or jump over the Panzers as they throw fireballs up, and then ride the chain all the way up to the right. Do your best to avoid the sparks and climb up this chain. Once up here, you gotta get through 4 different sparks. This can be a little bit tricky, but just take your time so that you can try to do your best to avoid taking damage. Once up here, pick the left or right chain. The left one will take you to a door which we're gonna ignore. Up here, use your super jump so you can jump on top of the columns in order to try to get past some of these sparks. Just take your time, as it can get a little bit tricky while you're trying to avoid the sparks and work your way up the platforms. In this room, ride the conveyor belt over to the right, being sure to duck under the sparks that are going to ride along the ceiling. Over here, climb down the chain, and now we have to have a battle against a Red Birdo. Instead of a crystal, though, this Red Birdo will actually give us a key. As soon as you grab the key, though, like usual, that Phanto is going to come alive and start chasing us. Enter the door, throwing the key over to the left if you want to in order to take out a couple of sparks, and then grab the key back up and enter the locked door. In this room, we have a boss battle. Pick up one of the items and take it over to where the crystal is. The Hawkmouth that's over on the right wall will actually come alive and start chasing us around the room. You're going to have to hit it 3 times with the item in order to open it up and be able to enter the final boss chamber. Once inside, it's time for the final boss battle against Wart. Wart moves back and forth on his platform and throws out lots of different bubbles at you, which will hurt you a lot. Do your best to walk in between the bubbles so that you can avoid getting hit by them. Vegetables will pop out of the pipes on the left side of him. Grab the vegetables and then launch them in his mouth as soon as it opens in order to do damage to Wart. Just try to do your best to avoid the bubbles, as that's the most important thing to do. It's going to take a little bit of timing to get used to throwing those vegetables directly in Wart's mouth. Once you deliver the final hit though, he falls off screen and we get to enjoy the ending of Super Mario 2.